Hey y'all. Oh wow, I went live right as I died due to timeout in the screen. How y'all doing? Can you hear me? Does everything look good? One second, I need to correct something on my end. Do this and then do this. Beautiful. Hey Seagull, Lord Bowser, Ace Dragonoki, and Droopman. Hey, how is everyone doing? We are here for viewer levels. As per usual, I would like to start out. By the way, I see that Lord Bowser said that he has completed New Super Bowser Switch Deluxe. That's fantastic. Let me start off with some updates, some of which are repeated from yesterday, since I did a smaller stream yesterday, sort of a... I've always marketed myself, or I say always. My tagline of this channel these days is that I'm a Mario Maker streamer full of bad ideas, and I put that to the test yesterday by streaming myself writing backlogged reviews. Backlogged is like Letterboxd, but for video games, basically. And I was writing like 500 character reviews using older ones I wrote like 7 years ago as a basis, and we wrote 10 of those, and it was a whole stream. And I also played some Pilot Wings. Hope people enjoyed that one. Kind of a weird stream. I don't know. I'm told it made good content, so I feel good about that. Let me start here with some stuff. First off, Streamiversary plans. Now, I've mentioned before the plan for the Streamiversary. The Streamiversary plans, okay. Let's see, where is that? Here it is, Streamiversary. I have 2 things planned for that stream, and I think that might be it for the Streamiversary, which will be November 2nd, so coming up in a couple of weeks here. That'll be a Wednesday. First thing I'm gonna do is Viewer Worlds, which is like Viewer Levels, but instead of after I finish level moving on, I'll play as many levels as I can before the 15-minute timer runs out. And then once it does run out, I will have like one, if I die, I move on, or if I finish the level that I'm on, I move on. So, you know, we'll have like a little bit of actual sudden death at the end of each Viewer World part segments. Person. Submitter. You know what I mean. The second thing is going to be Sonic Adventure 2. It's going to have a 5-life limit gimmick. A 5-life limit gimmick, which is something I've had great success with in many things. And basically, there's going to be 5 lives, not refreshing, and whenever I run out, I switch from dark to light or light to dark, you know, from one campaign to another. It's not going to be that big a deal switching back and forth. But I think it's going to be a little fun just having that, you know, that gimmick. And also I'm going to have to make like bonus heads for both the dark side and the light side. You know, like 5, you know, there's going to have to be a Sonic head, a Tails head, a Knuckles head. I think the 2 other heads are going to have to be like Big the Cat. And I want to say the alligator from Sonic Heroes. As for the villains, Eggman, Shadow, Rogue. You have to have the robots. Gamma's gotta be in there, or Omega, either one. And I'm not sure who the 5th villain head will be. I'll come up with something fun for that, I'm sure. Geez, there's a lot to prep for in the future. The next thing, Extra Life plans. I've talked about these before. For Extra Life, I'm planning to do the randomizer roulette sometime in November. 4 randomizers, slapping between them randomly, automatically, every 5 to 10 minutes. I'll have a hotkey to switch the trackers over, so it won't be weird for y'all watching. And it'll be like a 12-hour stream, and I'll set these randomizers such that finishing all 4 of them should be doable. 2 things new that I want to discuss. First off, I had been looking into a team and expecting to do it as part of a certain team, but that community looks like they're not doing one this year. So instead, I'm thinking about doing it with the Min-Max community as part of their team, and we'll see how that turns out. I hear that there's a lot of people who get on their thing, so that'll be fun. The other thing is that I was told and reminded the other day, talking about it with another streamer, that I should really consider donation incentives for Extra Life, because, you know, that's a whole thing. So I've gotten these disgusting beans. These are bean boozled. Basically, they come in like a variety of flavors that are either like nasty or good. And you spin a wheel and then you pick one out, and it's either going to be a 50-50, nasty or good. So you have like Tutti Frutti or Stinky Socks, pomegranate, or Old Bandage, toasted marshmallow or stink bug, cappuccino or liver and onions, buttered popcorn or rotten egg, juicy pear or booger, strawberry banana smoothie or dead fish, blueberry blue or toothpaste, birthday cake or dirty dishwater, peach or barf, and that's all the flavors there are for Bean Boozled. And what I was thinking is I would randomly eat one of these every $25 donated during that stream. And I'm not sure what the exact amount will be, but I'm also thinking about a larger goal. I've discussed before a stream idea, a feature idea, which I call Metal Gear Screwjob. I've never played Metal Gear Solid 1, 2, and any of the Metal Gear Solid games. And what I'm thinking is playing them in the worst way possible, which is to say at the start of every stream, I would spin a wheel, and it can either land on Metal Gear Solid 1, 2, or 3, and whatever it lands on, that's the game we're playing. So it'll basically be Metal Gear Solid 1, 2, and 3, randomly out of order every stream, and I'm thinking, you know, if we meet like some goal, I'll figure out what's reasonable for community our size, min-max, team, etc. Couple $100, I would imagine. We'll figure out what makes sense, but if we hit that goal, I'll start that series sometime in December, and probably streaming it once a week, maybe twice a week. I'll have some time off in December, so, you know, time for more streams. Gotta make sure the donation amount fits the viewer base. Yeah, I'm not sure what it'll be. It'll be a couple hundred for sure. I'm not sure like how much hundred. Like if we're talking like, should it be a $200 goal? Should it be a $500 goal? I'll have to talk to like other people in the min-max team and see like what's reasonable for a first-time Extra Life person. Yeah. I was thinking $25 per bean, and I think that's fine because, you know, there's a 50% chance it'll be a good bean and not a bad bean. So, you know, you take it as like $50 to do like a bad bean. Unless you get really lucky, in which case you might get multiple good. Or you might get really lucky and get multiple good, or get unlucky and get multiple bad, you know, whatever. It's gonna be a whole thing. Anyway, that's the plan for that. I still have a couple more. Again, I want to remind y'all, my super world now has a name, and that is Mario Country, Waluigi's Triple Threat. Really happy with this name. It sort of evokes Donkey Kong Country, and that this world is rooted in that. It also references Waluigi, who is a character that I love, and gives me an angle for, like, presenting the super world, which is that, oh, finally, Waluigi is getting his own game. Asterisk, you can't play as Waluigi. Some people have got that money, liked Cold Ice comment. Thank you, got that money. Lots of people played some of these levels and liked them. Look at that. Thank you, thank you. And also the other thing I like about it is that Waluigi's Triple Threat is sort of a half reference to Dixie Kong's Double Trouble. You know, it sort of has the same like double to trip. Instead of double, it's triple. And instead of Dixie Kong, it's Waluigi. And I think that's great. I think that's a great way to take it. Really, really lovely. Also, semi-related to that, there's bonus head updates. I showed these off yesterday, but let me show you them right now. There's new bonus heads. First off, I've done some changes to make it so that bonus heads can now be a little bit larger. And as a result, the Bowser, costume Bowser, now has taller hair. Originally the hair was taller. I had to make it shorter to make it, like, fit the size of a head properly. And now it can just be tall and good and it's okay. And we like it. Let me just, like, shuffle through these guys. Also, Dixie Kong now has full-length hair in this head. I had to make it shorter previously because it wouldn't be big otherwise. Now it's just allowed to be big. Also, in addition to those heads that have been tweaked a bit, there's also a couple of new heads. What heads could that be? Well, considering I just named my super world after Waluigi, we gotta have Waluigi heads. Look at that. It's Waluigi from Mario Party 3 and Waluigi as a vampire from Mario Kart Tour. Look at that. Also, one more set of heads. We got Wario. That's right, it's Wario from WarioWare, but, you know, from Brawl specifically. And also, I think that's Wario's first appearance, what he looked like in the art for that game, which I think was Wario's Woods? Question mark? New heads, you know, as usual, they will be random for everyone, if you are a sub. Not easy to make, though. Waluigi may be 3 heads. I'll say, like, the one that really tempted me, honestly, was Wario, because there is a Elon Musk Wario that I was very much like, oh my gosh, should I put Elon Musk in here? And what I ultimately decided on was that would be sacrilegious for one of, you know, obviously Wario has 2 different designs, and you have to cover both, right? And if Classic Wario, the only Classic Wario was Elon Musk, man, I think that would be a disservice to Wario. That's not cool. That's not good. You know what I mean? That's not what you want. Anyway, Yoshi is still the same as always. And yeah. Also, I remembered what my command was to reset the bonus heads, so I can now fix those if they get out of order, which is convenient. That'll be later. That's not how we start, of course. Let me start with a little bit of this level that I've been making. I'd say it's still very much in the hello all gamer HTX. This level is still very much in the beta phase. The current name that I'm throwing around is and tell me if this is a good name or you like it. The level that let me just show it off first, and then I'll tell you what the name I'm thinking of is. So I built a little area that I think might be an idea for the start, except I'll tell you, I think that's not quite right. Starting off with having to kill a guy to get into the first door, I don't really care for, and also I thought it was a little bit tight. So I built out like a second version of the opening, maybe something a little more like this, where immediately you're faced with like a guy. Ooh, that kind of sucks. Learning curve here. Definitely need to mess around more with this. Anyway, so I'm thinking, you know, this is the second level of this is the third level actually of my space-themed world. So basically, the idea that I have is that this is some sort of meteor on which there's all these weird, like, ruins. And the name that I have in my mind is Marble Top Meteor. And I don't know if that's a dumb name. I think it's a flavorful name. And I kind of like it. But also, maybe I could do something as far as, like, I could do a more apt name. By the way, as far as, like, the theming goes, this is why, you know, the first one has to be an ice one, the second one has to be desert, and the third one has to be water. It's because I'm representing them by these little circle guys and having them be in space. So, you know, you see on the map, they sort of look like little asteroids, little space rocks in between you and your goal of getting to Ne'er-Do Nebula. That's the name of the last level here. I also will say, one idea I have for the level after this. Let me just pull up the core spot real fast. My idea for this one, Aquatic Asteroid, is based on a level I did a while ago. The marble has more meanings than you're not really familiar with the use. Marble top is like a, you know, like a granite countertop? That's what a marble top, like a marble top counter is sort of what I'm going for. Sort of the idea being like, oh, it's like a slab of marble that is just hanging out somehow over this desert. I'm not sure if it really makes sense, but I think it kind of has like an idea to it. Nothing in this is built actually, so I can't actually show off shit. But, the basic idea that I have is sort of a new variant of Fair and Floodway, a level I did a while ago, which was sort of based off... Yeah, that's the thing. If I could make the... I will say if I can make... If Mario Maker had theming, right? And you can make the sandstone into, like, white or something, that would make it so that it would actually fit. But it's a little awkward. Anyway, the basic idea will be that it'll be a level where you go in and out of the subworld, and when you do that, the water level will rise and fall around you, and it'll sort of feel like a Donkey Kong Country 2 water level, in which, you know, in those levels, the water level rose and fell based on, like, triggers that you passed in the level. This is sort of like that, and you can see, like, I built out an illusion of, like, the area you're going into next, even though, obviously, that's not really how it works behind the scenes. You know, this is all fake. That area isn't actually behind you anymore because you're in a different area, but, you know, it's still fun to make the illusion and to play with that shit. So, my basic idea was to, like, do a repeat of this idea, but for the meteor level, but I am thinking maybe it would be cool if I went in a different direction for Aquatic Asteroid. Maybe I should just do, like, a regular-ass water level, like, full-on water level, or maybe, like, even half and half, but in the way of, like, the subworld is water, the overworld is not water. I don't know, I really have to think about it. You know, I'll say, like, that level is one of my best levels, I think. And certainly one of my highest as far as, like, likes go. You know, it's definitely above 1,000. So, like, making a sequel to it in this one would make a lot of sense from like, oh, I want the super world to be as star-studded as possible. But maybe I could take it in a different direction. Maybe I don't need to make a sequel to all my best levels in this super world. We can just let it be its own thing. So that's kind of what I've been thinking recently about that level. Maybe I'll take it in a different direction, but I'm still really far off as far as that goes because, you know, I haven't really gotten to the point where I'm 100% certain about this level here. You know, Marble Top Meteor, or I don't know what I could call it Quicksand Quasar, but I kind of like the idea of all these levels being like small spatial bodies. A quasar is a big one. You know, Quicksand Quasar is not bad though. That's a pretty good name. I'm sure, like, given time, I'll think of something, you know, something like Monument Meteor or, like, Memorial Meteor. I'm sure I could do something with, like Desert Pyramid Sandstone Blocks or something. I had one that was, like, Sandstorm Satellites, but unfortunately that doesn't fit with the way that I name my levels. I include the world name in there, too, and that makes it above 32 characters, you see. I could go with, like, Sandstone Satellites. That'll work, but Sandstone Station does kind of work, but I do already have a level called Automation Station, and I don't really like to repeat words in level names within a same game. But then again, maybe rules are meant to be broken. Maybe that would be a good... Maybe this is the time to break that rule and actually do Sandstone Station. That's a pretty good name, too. In fact, it's probably just objectively a better name than any of the other contenders right now. I gotta mull things over. I gotta figure out, like, what I want for this level. As far as I think, I'll say I've used hooks before. I've used these guys before, these, like... These things, I call them boneheads. They're sort of like a launcher. They'll launch you after you stand on a donut block for long enough. I'm thinking, first off, the way that this will be made interesting and unique for this level. We'll have boneheads that blast you backwards, which in my first level that used boneheads, it didn't do that. Boneheads only went forward or up. The second thing with these hooks, more focus on, like, enemies being held by hooks, and also places where, like, enemies are dropped by hooks. that sort of, you know, gives you a unique twist on the idea, on the mechanic. And yeah, those are the two things I feel like I need to focus on and really figure out before this level can start becoming a real level. It's currently not a real level, it's currently just a bunch of scattered ideas that I'm playing around with and trying to iterate on. I kind of do like the idea, you know, obviously like Magic Koopas, Crushers, and other things. They sort of act with like regular blocks. So I'm thinking a big part of the level will be like trying to figure out like different ways of using the bricks and having it so like, you know, maybe something that could happen is like maybe you could have like one further idea I have is that maybe there could be. Let's just try this out real quick, and then we'll get to some of y'all's levels. Thank y'all for getting those in. Maybe there could be like a spike ball held on one of these.
Here we go.
And yeah, that'll totally like break some. Storm of Stardust? Not bad.
Here we go.
Like Sandy Stars also works as far as names go. Maybe there could be something like things being dropped. Maybe I could do something like this where like a thing will drop and it'll break some stuff in your wake or something like that. There could be some spike balls you have to avoid. That sort of thing. Scattered ideas. They're coming along decently well. Let's see some levels. Viewer level time, folks. Let me go ahead and get the first level up. Satellite shower. Yeah, that's not bad. I definitely, you know, my original thought was I would like it if it represented, like, hot somehow. Or, like, either, like, hot deserts or, like, sandstone. And marble almost gets in there. Gets in there a little bit. So that's why I'm sort of, like, toying with it. But I must admit, Marble Top Meteor, it doesn't really... It's not really accurate, is it? It's sort of a stretch, which does concern me, but, you know, that's a thing. Let me switch to the big ol' Mario Maker UI. Hell yeah. It's Ace Dragonoki's level. Let's go. Viewer levels. As per usual, let me tell you how it works. Outside the lightning round, if you... Let me start over. If you are here when your level comes up... Good words are hard to find, yeah. If you are here when your level comes up, I will give it the full time of day, which outside the lightning round means 15 minutes plus 5 last tries if that's not enough. If you're not here, I still play the level, but I do so in very nearly but not quite sudden death, in which I only have 2 tries to beat the level, refreshing at checkpoints. So, you know, much less likely if it's a hard one for me to get through it, but we'll try our best, and, you know, it's sort of a fun challenge that still, like, prioritizes the people who are present and ready and waiting, you know? I think it's a good compromise, and also it's a bit of fun. These are good rules. I like them. Toad's Factory. Let's set the timer and get going. Interesting sound effect there. I think I might have played the original version of this. I remember this. Did you make a version 2 of this? I remember this being very impressive. Yeah. And this is based on Mario Kart music, right? Oh, that's rad. I love that. I love that mushroom there. By the way, is the endgame music drowning me out at all? Let me know if so. I can actually check now. Actually, I can check myself. See, I can just do... I now have a hotkey to unmute myself And I can tell that, oh wow, it is a little hard to hear me. I'll drop it just a little bit for this level. Just a little bit, though. Yeah, it's part of the level. Nothing you can do about that. I now have a thing that unmutes myself as far as, like, I am concerned, so I can hear myself and adjust audio. And that's gonna be really helpful in avoiding streams where the audio is all fucked up, which I will say I've been combing through some VODs and realizing, like, oh shit. The game audio was way too loud for this whole segment. Whoops. Whoops. Alright, let me put that audio back. There we go. Thank you for the level. It was a brilliant level. It's a shame it couldn't be longer, but I bet that you're probably pushing the item limit as it is. I especially like the part where the Mecha Koopas were rained down on you by the question mark blocks. That's really good. That reminds me of a thing that I put together for like one of my later Super World levels. And we actually prototyped this on stream a while ago. Sort of was an idea that was made collaboratively on air. You have an extra special challenge for good players in my levels. Yeah, you gotta have like optional things for like people to go for if they want to try their luck. That's sort of what you want for like a that's sort of what you want for like a challenge for like 10 coins and 30 coins and 50 coins. That's sort of what you want to use that for. Here's the not sure if this is actually set up to do. Yeah, set up big coins like star coins. I will say, you know, when I first started Mario Maker 2, I sort of started out just with like 1 star coin per level. Okay, look at this. There's a Pokey out there that's like jumping up and down on some stuff. And that's making some enemies rain down. And I thought that would be cool. I guess I don't actually have any other cases of it. What is this level? This is bonus biome 3, Pokey Pressure, which is very early. Just a couple of mechanics I wanted to use. I will say I have used Lakitus now, so I guess this level totally doesn't need to use Lakitus anymore. But it totally could. It totally could use Lakitus. That would be fine. Multiple levels can use enemies. All right, let's go on to the next one. Similar idea. The one thing I have to worry about with that is that you know, that sort of shit will use up your item limit really quickly. Lack of twos. Lack of twos. I gotcha, Seagull. It took me a second to get that. Droopman, go ahead and confirm. Oh, Droopman already said GG recently. It's here. Good. By the way, I still have these cards that I'm gonna pop up from time to time. Let me tell you about this nice walk I took. I took a nice walk on like Tuesday, and I took a bunch of really nice pics with my new iPhone, and I can show you some of them. Let me show you some of them real quick. Like, look at this one. It's just some nice trees and the background. The new iPhone 14 does a really good job of capturing that shit. Honestly, I'll say I think it was more beautiful in real life. When I saw it, I was like, God damn, I gotta take a picture of that. All the contrasting colors and shit. It looks like Donkey Kong Country, like Tropical Freeze or some shit with all the layers of like different colors going on. Beautiful. TF. I also got, let's see, the second one. Picture of some limestone, like a creek area. I've said before, I think limestone is sort of underrated as far as like an environmental thing. You know, at least where I live, there's a lot of like limestone riverbanks around where you can just like go down there. You know, if you go off the trail a little bit, you'll be like running around on like limestone, shelves of limestone, and it's really cool and rad. There used to be a picture of SpongeBob. Someone had graffitied onto it, but it looks like it got washed away or something. Maybe rain, maybe, I don't know. Limestone, underrated. If I were to ever make a full-on video game, I imagine I would want to put in some limestone as in the creek level, there would definitely be like limestone embankments, and they'd be really cool and atmospheric, and you'd like them. I wonder if it's just not as common as like maybe it's like more common in the Dallas area than in the rest of like the world, and like people don't know limestone like riverbanks, but they're beautiful. They're beautiful. Look at that. Also posted these on the Discord, and a couple more actually. I got one more of these, which is got this nice picture of like the sun sort of making the clouds all yellow and shit in like a god ray looking thing. That's just beautiful clouds. Love it. The iPhone 14, really nice. Looks like fire. Yeah, it was beautiful. Took more pictures as well. I posted some of them on the Discord in the thing. Yeah. There's some this I'll say the iPhone 14 Pro, lovely fucking camera. I've had good luck with it. I just got this like a week ago, by the way, like last Saturday, and I've been having a great time with my new iPhone. I love the adaptive island. That's not what it's called. The dynamic island. I love it. It's such a quirky and fun way to handle the cutout for the camera. Brilliant. Whenever I see it in action, I'm just like, God damn, that's good. That's clever. Wow. Let's get on with the level. 15 minutes on the clock. Let's go. Sometimes I like to ramble, folks. Hope y'all enjoy the little digressions here and there. I got stuff I'm up to when I'm off stream, and I like to talk about it. You know how it is. It's nice to get out. It's been a while since I was able to is the wrong word. I've been fucking busy. And I haven't found time to like get out as much as I used to. You know, there was a time where I did like two streams a week, and during that time it was easier to find like 3 opportunities to go for a walk every week. Since then it's been more easy to do like two times a week, you know, streaming 3 or maybe even more times a week. It's hard to find the time, but you gotta, because it's fucking nice outside. I suppose through the summer also, it was also really hot, so wasn't really that good, like, weather-wise. Like, when it's 90, 100 degrees outside, it's really easy to go like, yeah, I think I'll stay inside and play Donkey Kong Country instead of walking a mile in, like, 100-degree heat. I'll tell you, like, the heat was so hot that I had to buy another water bottle, another carrier for, like, holding it, so that I could go outside with multiple things of water. I really like the trail that I currently walk down, but I will admit, it doesn't have any, like, water refill stations, like the one that I used to walk, the trail I used to walk when I lived in, like, Euless, which is near DFW Airport. They had a nice trail there with lights, and also, nice. With lights and also some water refill stations, which honestly I haven't seen since coming to McKinney. Fuck. The dark rock and the small stone blocks might look good in your meteor level, perhaps? That's a good point. The only thing is that, to know about the gray blocks is that, they do disappear if they're hit by a Magikoopa spell. They act the same as a regular brick. So I can't use them so much for, like, theming purposes. Like, I thought about using a wall of, like, gray blocks. And I realized that I can't actually separate areas with that because, you know, they'll just totally bust holes in it and break down the barrier between the 2 areas, which would be a bad thing if it were to happen, like, unintentionally. I gotta be a little more careful here. I've died a couple times. Is what it is. I will say, god damn it. It would be a bad barrier, but perhaps a decoration. Yeah, maybe I could see that. I could see that. I was thinking like maybe like the actual like meteor parts that weren't like sandstone, like floating in space, would be like maybe like made of bricks or something, because bricks are, you know, they interact with a lot of the stuff that I want to play with. And I think that would be interesting. Okay, that's not a ah!
Oh.
Oh my god.
Ah.
These blocks can't pass for marble. They're a little dark for marble. I think like marble is more like a white, but I could see them passing for marble, yeah. You got a point there. You got a point there. Maybe if they were on top of the other bricks. If they were on top of the other bricks, you could literally say it was a marble top. Like that the sandstone has a marble top. The sandstone is not the marble top.
Oh.
What if the sandstone isn't the marble top? The gray blocks are the marble top, and the sandstone is the countertop. Is the rest of the counter? Rest of the counter? You know, the part that's below the top. Is that like just called the counter? That might work. I like that. Oh my god. I can picture it now. Oh wow. Also, I can't believe we died and went all the way back to the start. Could have used a checkpoint. Oh. It's not a long level, I suppose. It's, you know, 100 seconds, right? It was a 100-second level. Still was rather put off by that. Auto-scrollers, you know, they can be... It's always discouraging when you die in an auto-scroller. At least for me, I don't know about y'all. But I'm always like, God. The great thing about, like, a regular traditional level is that once you know it, you can speed it up a little bit. You know what I mean? Fuck off, P-Block. I don't need your shit. You are a trap. I'm not gonna deal with you. I could have just fucking climbed the vine. That would have been the better answer. That would have been the answer there. I didn't think of that. Thank you for the level, Droop Man. Good, if slow level. Solid. I think it was challenging for an auto scroll. Good job. All right. Yeah, let me see real fast. I'm gonna hit complete for you, Droop Man. By the way, if anyone wants to get in any further levels, be my guest. You know, always feel welcome to get in additional levels. I'm gonna hit next, and I'm gonna see who is up next. Lord Bowser is. Bowser, you know the drill. Let me test out that idea that Seagull had. Yeah, what you could totally do is... Yeah. I do think to prevent you from, like... Wait, actually, no, don't prevent shit. It's fine. Wait, no, that... It might be weird, though, if you can get above and, like, see... That's the marble top. This is not the marble. This is the marble. Oh, look at that. It kind of works, doesn't it? And also, it works well with the magic Koopas because, you know, they can fire their shots up, and if they hit the top, it'll drop something on you.
Here we go.
So we'll just see, like, for sake of example. Shoot me. So let's say that misses, right? It would immediately drop something down. And that would be sort of challenging to deal with. This is maybe not enough space to deal with. I do want to question if, like, you should be able to see, like, the very top. Maybe there could be, like, a layer of blocks that you can't actually break. Which is to say, like, that would be, like, these guys. Or maybe it'll be something like... One thing I am playing with is these redoublers, right? That
Here we go.
you know, take these guys and make it so that you can go higher. And maybe... Could there be random blocks in the platform as well? That have no effect on collision? Let me see how that looks. I guess that would be kind of like marble. It does look a little... It does look a little weird that way, and also if it's off the top of the screen, it's gonna be, like, different from if it weren't. I don't know if that effect is quite right. There could be, you know what there could be? There could be some bricks in there. No, brown is not the right color to mix in. There could be some random marble blocks in the blocks you stand in. Maybe, yeah, I can see that. Yeah, definitely, like, I was thinking, like... bricks, meteors made of bricks, but meteors made of, like, marble would also work. The only thing about brick that I like is that, in contrast to the like, solid stone, is that, well, actually, that doesn't interact any different, but the crushers do interact differently with it. So you see these skewers.
Here we go.
It will crush through the. It'll go through. It'll go through the regular bricks, but it will stop whenever it hits one of these marbles. But you know what? Maybe we could do actually. And this actually helps with the theming as well. Take these bricks and use these like solid brick walls, and then give them a marble top. Now they have a marble top too. That actually works good. And it wouldn't make a difference for this guy here, because, you know, so long as the marble top is the last one to go,
Here we go.
it would be able to, like, crush through everything. There you go. Coming up with some ideas, folks. Thank you. Shit, I always wanted this to be a sort of almost semi-collaborative thing, you know, with, like, me showing off my levels, and y'all maybe being like, oh, what if this, what if that? And, I think today... Your phone died, damn it. I think today has been the best example of that. I really like in this case here, where there's, like, a little bit of, like, theming. The only issue is that if you break through, the illusion will be broken. You can see there, the illusion is totally broken if you're able to break through and get to the... get to that point. Maybe... Actually, you know what? Maybe that's fine. It's a low-hanging, This divide doesn't have to be, like, all the way high. That's fine, even if you do reveal it. And if you're able to get up there, like... You could soft lock. Wait, could you soft lock? Is this a soft lock if you were to get up there? Let me see. I think that might be a soft lock. Yeah, this is totally a soft lock, so... let's make sure that... When we're doing this... Hello, Super Mario Maker... Or me, Super Mario Maker 2. When we're doing this... Just make sure that,
Here we go.
none of them are at the top, so you can get on top of them and just run over them, potentially. I think that would help a lot to preventing soft locks. And also, you know, hey, if you do get up there, it's like a fun bonus, isn't it? It's like, ooh, I got on top. You know, I feel like 1-2. It's like 1-2 Super Mario Bros. Original. Suddenly, the name makes sense. We've justified it. Marble Top Meteor. It's here. It works. Oh my god. The description is going to have to pull some fucking shit to justify this. It's like, Why are all these giant marble top countertops? Okay, who made all these giant marble top counters? And why are they in space? I don't know. That'll basically be what the description will have to be to explain what the fuck this level is thematically. Oh boy. Bowser did say, did Bowser? Let me see. Was Bowser already like active? Bowser, could you confirm, please? Let me just at Bowser. We love Bowser. Bowser is Lord Bowser. You're up, dude. You're up, Bowser. Let's go. I haven't seen Bowser in a minute, so if Bowser is not here by the time I put in this code, we'll do it in sudden death, as is our rules here. This is how we do things here, by the way, if for those of you who are new, by which I mean me, SMM2, is that if you're here, I give you the full time of day. If you're not here, I still do the level, but in nearly sudden death, where I only have 2 tries to do it. That's how it works. It's a fun way to do it. Fun rules and shit. I'll do another. I don't have that many cards today, actually. You know what? We'll pace ourselves. You're almost at 300 likes. You deserve more than that. Jeez. I'm at like, nice. You know what? I should be encouraging. That's great, Droop Man. That's fantastic. Your levels are definitely. Wow, shit. I guess. Lord Bowser, did you like delete, re-upload? Yeah, I guess Lord Bowser did delete and re-upload the whole thing. Huh. Except for the first 3 levels. So yeah, they're all freshly new. They're all ready to go. And I suppose they probably have, like, corrections and fixes to them. I take it, Bowser, you'd like us to start at 1-1 and just play the Super World, which is, by the way, newly released. This is a newly released Super World. Let's do it. We're gonna go save the princess. Oh, that reminds me. Last time I got a channel point incentive to play as Luigi. I forgot to switch back to Mario. I'll do that right now. It's because your levels are on your new account. Gotcha. Which was made in early September. Suppose you have like an original account with like another Super World or so on it. That's cool. Personally, I've, it's taken me like a year, more than a year to make my first. The only Super World I've made is Mario Maker 2. I made a Super World like half of one in Mario Maker 1, but I say half of one, like 16 levels worth, which at the time, in Super Mario Maker 1, there wasn't like you couldn't actually say like, okay, 40 is the rule, because, that's the maximum amount you can have. I was going for 36, but this time I'm, going the full 9, full thing. Also, I didn't get, like, I only got halfway through. Look at that, we got through the first level. That was a very easy first level, of course. That world is fully complete, a collection of 69 levels. Nice. Look at that, we got the world record, and indeed, we liked it. Put that down. Let's see the next level. Thank you, Bowser. Go ahead and hit next. Snow, snow. Snow, 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 snow. I always keep thinking that's... I'm kidding, I know there's only 2 snows. I keep thinking that there should be like a 3rd snow. Like snow, snow, snow. But there's only 2. You're up. And do you remember? Do I remember what? It could be 77 if you made a World 9 for that game, but you probably weren't. The 21st night of September. Yes, I like that song. It's a good song. It's October currently. Is it the 21st? What day is it in September? It's the 14th. I remember the 14th of October. That's the day that it is. Currently. If anyone is watching, like, I'm sure I'm gonna upload a Twitch VOD or like a VOD to YouTube of this eventually. If anyone was watching that in the future, they just got very confused because it'll probably be a bit until I can get this video up because I've been going through them chronologically. It'll probably be like a week or two until this one goes up on YouTube. Eventually, those will be posted like 24 hours after, but not currently, not yet. Working on them. Thumbnails, descriptions, actual timestamps. It's actually kind of hard to do a YouTube thing. I appreciate anyone who watches those VODs and drops likes. Liking, if anyone is watching this on YouTube in the distant future, drop me a like on it. I like it when I see a like come in. I am at the point, as far as YouTube goes, where like one like is good enough for me. I see a like, I'm like, ooh, a like, and that makes me happy. I'm sure there are, people who are like more accustomed or more successful. They need like 100 likes to get them going. Like me, like no, I see one, I'm like, ooh, I'm eating, I'm feasting. We got one, I got one, and that alone is enough to make me happy. Troll Kaizo 2, low clear rate. Okay, Snow, let's do it. 15 minutes. You're gonna try to send your levels mostly in order, Droopman says. There are 3 levels in World 2 you didn't play. Hope to get through the rest of them this stream. Just finished World 5 for your newest world. Droopman just finished World 5 and it's really fun. An option, so excited for you to play that. Yep, hell yeah. Fuck. So far, this just looks like a regular ass level. Nothing too unusual. Little hard to do the timing. It was Troll Kaizo. Okay, so it's Kaizo, but also it's gonna be a troll level. I kind of like that, sort of defying your expectations. That's funny. Ooh, if you get ahead of it, it's a whole problem though. I'm gonna have to. Was that a place for a shell jump coming up? Oh, I'm not good at those, but we'll see if we can do it. We'll see. Kinda looks like you might have to. Eh! There was no... Hang on. Wait, no, you can't shell jump there. If you wait, no, yes, you can. But the other switch has to go, so it has to be switched on for you to shell jump. Okay. Huh? Okay. Two, 3, 4. What's with the platform on the bottom that you can the blue platform there? Not sure what that would do for me. Kinda just looks like a... Yeah, it's definitely not a good thing. That's not a good thing. Okay. Maybe I should do it like higher. Like maybe that would be easier to shell jump into like from a higher altitude. Cut the wrong direction. Shell jumps are just like something I've never mastered. I'll say like for me, this level looks impossible. I'm sure if you were good at like the idea, by the way, Seagull, if you're not familiar with shell jumps, is that the idea is that you throw the shell against the wall and then you land on it to jump off the shell mid thing, and it's just barely possible, and there's like a trick to it. I don't know the timing myself that well. I have on occasion done them, but you know, I always feel like it's fuck. Oh god. You have to do 2 shell jumps. Oh. God. I thought I was good. I thought I got it. Successfully trolled me there. That's a good troll. Damn. I guess that's why the blue platform is there. That's why the blue platform is there. You gotta land on it after doing the shell jump. I was wondering. I was wondering about that. And, you know, answer received. Yeah, almost. Nearly. By the way, I'm thinking around 7, let's say 7:10, we'll start the lightning round. For me, shell jumps are called shell minus the S jumps. Hell jumps, I gotcha. That's a good pun, that's a good joke. Cuban stream later today, Snow? Good luck, I guess good luck is kind of weird to say about a. Are you like looking to like get like a good time? Like, what exactly is your aim in a full-on Cuban stream? Let me give you a shout out, Snow. Oh, I put show snow. That's not right. Snow. There we go. Nice avatar. Kinda dark. Anyway, let's do it. Last playing Containment Breach? Some sort of, like, SPC Containment Breach. It's pretty much whatever, just to stream whoever wants to watch. Gotcha. You just, what kind of cubes do you have? I have a bunch. I like, though mostly, like... We have to do, like, okay. You gotta figure out, like, where exactly we're doing it. And to improve? Gotcha. For me, you know, I do have cubing as an incentive here. Personally, like, I like to do cubing just as, like, a idle thing, you know? I'm sort of like, I'll mix up a 7x7 or a 5x5, and I'll solve it while watching a stream or something. It's good to have something to do with your hands when you are a little bit bored, you know? Or, not bored, that's the wrong word. I like to have multiple things that I'm doing. And, you know, having both makes it easy, you know? Having something to occupy myself. It's fun to watch a movie, you know, be watching a movie and have that going on if I have nothing else to do. You suggest Soma. Wait, is Soma the one where you're a robot in space? That Soma? You know what I probably need to do? You're understimulated? I guess. Sometimes I'll be watching an anime that is subtitled, and I'll be solving a cube at the same time. I'll honestly say, you know, that sounds like a weird thing to do. You know, watching subtitled anime, and also... No problem, Lord Bowser. We played your level, got through it fine. 1-1 of, thing. Gotcha. I understand people preoccupied doing other things, and yeah. Release of your Super World, that's a busy time. What was I saying about Cuban? Yeah, I like to. I've recently found, when I first started watching subtitled anime a lot, right? It was sort of nice because, like, to enjoy subtitled anime, you really have to focus in and not be distracted, have full attention on one thing. But I'll tell you, like, now, like, after watching a lot of subtitled anime over the course of, like, 5, 6 years, hasn't been that long, geez. Started in, like, 2016, end of 2016, so yeah, like, 6 years ago. Dang. Watching it for so long, I have now developed the skills where I can read Twitter and also read subtitles and, like, multi-track. Just sort of like, new subtitle, look at it. Okay, look back at phone. New subtitle, look at it, look back at phone. New subtitle, look at it, look back at phone. And it's kind of sad because I used to, it used to be like the one time of my day where I had to, like, do one thing at a time and not multitask all over the place, but, I will say I do like to solve a cube or two while just watching an anime. That's pleasant. What the shell is this hard as shell? Nexercise. Good pun. Ah! Okay. Here's the thing. Dang it. I think it might be better if we do low. A higher shell jump. Oh god, I fucked that up. And like I said, 7:10 Central is when the when the lightning round will start. Sometimes the thing doesn't trigger. I plan tonight to watch there's a streamer I usually watch on Fridays. He starts streaming around like 8 o'clock, and I tend to, watch him into the night. And he is doing a big pizza party type thing, where he is, gonna watch a bunch of a TV show that is the kind of TV show where no one cares that people are streaming it on Twitch, which isn't that weird. That's sort of I think it's sort of a thing that's been, like, all over the place recently, is like, streamers, like, figuring out what they can get away with, what they can get away with, like, streaming, and just like, oh, we're gonna watch, all of this show live on the air, and no one's gonna stop us. It's fun, though. I don't, no one tell the cops. And also, I don't think cops don't care about copyright. No one tell whoever owns this. They probably don't care. If they did, they would. See ya, Droop Man. You have a good one. You eat some food. It's good to eat. Anyway, he was gonna watch a bunch of a show called Battle Dome, which is a ridiculous, like, American Gladiators type show, except with, like, more gimmicks, basically. And some light misogyny, but, that goes with the territory. It was the 90s. But he's basically blowing out the last of the episodes that he has in Waiting in the Wings, and it's gonna be a fun night. Looking forward to that. That's what I'll do after I finish this here stream. Fucking! I didn't jump high enough. Jeez, I can't believe we figured out how to make fucking Marble Top Meteor work as a name. I feel good about that. That makes me feel good. I'd say, one thing I'll say about like making in general. That's hard. One thing I'll say about making in general is that I do believe that, if you give yourself time, you'll mull over things in your head, and eventually you'll come up with just the right solution. Just the right idea that'll make it make sense, that'll make it come together. And very rarely have we had such a big eureka moment live on air. Very, very rarely. And I appreciate the opportunity to do that today. Like, geez. Yeah, that's just fucking good. That's the name. It's Meteor Top, Marble Top Meteor, and they're fucking Marble Top counters in space. Who knew? God, what a weird idea for a level. And also, it follows the last level that I did was called Cold Ice Comet, which it's a nice name. It has a ring to it, but you could not get any more vanilla than it's cold, it's ice, and it's a comet. Oh God, that was a shell jump, but it was not high enough. I guess because you can just like jump off this guy, like just do like a full length jump off that guy. The shell jump has to be high enough where you couldn't get it otherwise without using the shell jump. Okay, shit. Oh! Well, that was a shell jump. Not good enough, though. We are about to run out of time, which point we will go to 5 last tries, as is the rules, as is how we do. I think maybe after this run. Yep, there we go. 5 last tries, let's go. And I think that there's like... What?! I got past the thing by sheer happenstance. Yeah, it does. I'm kind of waiting for chat to catch up with that. Y'all see that shit? That's the second life. You ever see someone, like, get through the wall like that? Damn it. If you do that, you will always die. Okay, shit. We shouldn't do that then. I guess it'll fuck up the on-off position. If we slip past the guy like that, okay. That isn't a cheese then. It's not a cheese. And you don't need to, it's not like... If that was a cheese, then I guess the world record would have to do that every time. There we go, that's the last death. Thank you for the level. It is nearly 710, but not quite 710. So, next level will be a full-on, regular-ass level. Thank you, Snow, for the level. Feel free to get another one in, if you like. All Gamer is up next. Only one clear, yeah. The clear rate is quite high for it, though. I guess that one person really drove the clear rate up, huh? I think it should be like 0.01 with how hard it is, but hey, I bet that Kobold is a very talented person. How long is it? 18 seconds. Okay, we're like a few seconds in. We're like a few seconds in. All Gamer, go ahead and confirm. All Gamer, you are up. Can't be that percentage without 100,000 clears. The other way, 100,000 tries or 10,000 tries. You're right. That's true. Spilled a little water on myself. All Gamer HD, I'm gonna punch your level in. If you are here, this is the last level outside the lightning round. If you aren't, you'll be in sudden death anyway, so, no difference whether in or out of the lightning round. Looks to me like we'll be going into the lightning round after this one. I mean, looks to me. Unless time were to reverse, it will be. Let's throw another card. I've been watching lots of seasonal anime. That's right. It looks like the season is over as far as like new shows go. I think there's like one more new show tomorrow. There's another new show next week that looks bad, so I mean, I don't mean to prejudge a show, but I don't like to prejudge a show, but sometimes I go into them going like, okay, that's probably a bad one. I probably won't watch that one. Let me just watch a minute of it. Oh yeah, it's bad. Okay, confirmed. Confirmed. And also, not started yet is the second season of what's it called? To Your Eternity. To Your Eternity? Classic confirmation bias? Yeah, I guess. But to be fair, you know, sometimes you could look at it and be like, I see some really a gaudy 3D, and I know it's bad. Or like, oh, if it just doesn't, none of the characters are good. Like, yeah, I know already. It's not hard. You know, sometimes you know just looking at a concept of like, oh, this is not gonna be it. I talked yesterday about Chainsaw Man and the other one that has been like looked forward to, Urusei Yatsura, sort of a remake of a 50-year-old show. Chainsaw Man, really promising, but it definitely is just in the starting phase of it. Looking forward to seeing more as it, becomes a full show, as all the characters get introduced. I'm sure that'll be fantastic. Everyone's really excited for that one, and I'm excited to see Power too. I'm hoping she is really, really cool. Hey, Droop Man. I'm hoping Power is great. I've heard a lot about Power. I've seen a lot of her on Twitter. I like the other girl, the one who is like the main character's owner, if you know what I mean. He's like a dog, or I think that's what people say about Chainsaw Man, right? Is that they say the main character's like a dog, and like woofing is a thing in the community. I think the anime community has to figure out, like, you know, the people like me who are just watching the anime. Yeah, we think we played your level. Maybe. Check the queue, Droop Man. I can't remember. We did just play. We played one level. We played Bowser's level. Yeah, we played Bowser's level in Sudden Death, and it looks like we're gonna play this level as well, all at Gamer HD, in Sudden Death 2. What else came out recently? Let me see. So, and Urusei Yatsura. Urusei Yatsura, that very much feels like a remake of a show from the 70s. Like, it's uncanny, man. Like, it has like sort of the writing of a show from the 70s, and also some of the, you know, sexism and like horny. You know, it sort of has, and I'm sort of surprised, just like, you know, even the most gaudy, like, fan servicey, like, rom-com, to me, I expect it to have a little bit of setup. A little bit of, like, setup of, like, the romantic situation, right? Where, like, oh, you know, you can see immediately these characters have chemistry. Whereas, like, Urusei Yatsura starts off with, like, this guy who's, like, has a girlfriend, and his girlfriend says, you don't pay enough attention to me. And he says, no, baby, I love you. You're the only girl in the world for me. And then a sexy lady runs by, and he's like, what an ass on her, huh? And she's like, God damn it! And that's their relationship. And occasionally he's like, oh baby, you're the only one in the world for me. And she's like, oh my God, you're so nice. And then he does something really, really fucked up. And she's like, God damn it, I should have known. And it's kind of weird in 2022 to have a show just like that, but that's the show. And also it looks really good because they spent a lot of money to make it look great. You know, there were people were saying like, David's Productions wasn't so much focused on JoJo this year, Stone Ocean, because they were instead working on the remake of Urusei Yatsura, and yeah, it shows. It looks incredible, the production value wise. I just don't know if I'm not really a 70s anime sort of person, so it doesn't really hit me quite right. I'll also say, as far as like new shows, the other day Love Flops came out. Very, very, very horny harem anime in which the main character sort of, after a series of very horny, maybe horny is the wrong word there, very sexually charged accidental encounters, a little bit tropey there. Apparently he has like 5 confessions coming his way, and he has to figure out like what the fuck to do. And seems pretty fun. Definitely crosses a few lines as far as good taste goes in a couple of places, but shit, you know, it's mostly pretty good, and I liked it. Very, very, very horny, very ecchi. Please be warned before going in. If you don't truck with that sort of stuff, do not watch Love Flops. And also, like I said, there is some stuff that I think is like, no, don't do that. No, that's bad. You cross the line here. And it specifically has to do with, like, bestiality? It's bad. I don't like that bit. That's not a funny bit to me. No. And I don't want to meet the person who's turned on by that. I hope there's not a person. I hope everyone's just like, haha, that's funny. It's funny that happened. It's starting after this level, Droop Man. Anyway, that's some talk about anime. Bocchi the Rock, the second episode of that is tomorrow, and I'm really looking forward to that one. Bocchi the Rock has gotta be my favorite thing of the season so far. It's about a lonely rocker chick. That is how she describes herself. She describes herself as a rocker chick, and it's very funny. And she wants to make friends and join a band. And she's so awkward, it's good, it's delicious. Y'all should check out Bocchi the Rock. I think it's on Crunchyroll. Let's play this level, Nearly Sudden Death. All Gamer HD X. If you are here, do say. Probably will be able to get through it in one go. I mean, it is a 1-1 after all. Alright, let's go. That was the seasonal anime update. I like talking about anime.
Oh yeah, Mario time.
And I hope y'all don't mind me just going on and on about anime. I watch a ton of anime. I think I was looking at like the stats on Analyst as far as the amount of anime I've watched, and I think I watched like 70. I've seen 77 shows so far this year. Shows slash movies slash whatever that released this year for the first time. Obviously, that would include any anime movies that were only released in Japan in previous years. But you know, 77. That's a big number. Big ass motherfucking number. I watch a lot of shit. And I have some thoughts and opinions about them. You know, you can always check out the Analyst, which is over there. Letterboxd style reviews on just about all of them as well. Very nice. Let's see the next level. Also, I have a list. I do a backlogged. That was coincidentally what the stream yesterday was about. I wrote a bunch of backlogged reviews. If you put ! games, you can see my list of like my collection up to like I've gotten in up to 2017. One of the last reviews I put in was for Breath of the Wild. I need to like really buckle down and write like 100 or 200 more reviews to get up to present. I need to find the time for that. There's so much that I'd like to do. Droopman is up next, and it is Droopman's turn, and also it is time for a thing. Folks, you know what time it is. It is 7:18 Central Time, PM. That's what time it is. But it is also time for the lightning round. 5 tries to complete the level, 7 for subs, with extra heads, which I can show off right now. Oh, I didn't set up the... Whoops, I didn't set up the proper animation on that head. Whoopsie daisy. On the new extra big head. I'll fix that later, folks. Don't y'all worry. But yeah. I'll fix that. But also, it's worth noting, by the way, when you get extra bonus heads, either by being a sub or whatever, they're randomized. And tonight, we have a couple new ones. We have these Waluigi heads, and we also have these Wario heads. Brand new. I also adjusted some of the other heads to make it so that they could be bigger. Let's, tell you what, why don't I'd like to rein in these new heads. I'm gonna give the first two people here, the Droop Man and whoever's next, bonus heads. But after that, it'll be just for subs as normal. But let's give Waluigi a time in the spotlight. Let's have these Waluigi heads for our first thing. I have given thought to maybe making it so like the first person who gets lightning round gets bonus heads by default. Like maybe that'd be a nice thing, and it would mean that we would see the heads more often. I'm not quite ready to pull the trigger on that though. I'm just saying, I'm thinking about it as like a small tweak to it. Ooh, Pyramid Escape, look at that. We got some sort of similar theming as we're looking at in our you know, in our Marble Top Meteor. Let's go. Jay, says Droop Man. That's right, Jay. Jay indeed. Yeah, we got the sandstone stuff. And we can sort of bust through like that. Oh wow, that kills these guys. Huh. I like what you're doing here as far as like using the P blocks to like advance through this like this pyramid. That's neat. Okay. And now we have to go through that fast because otherwise you'll die. That's a good touch. That's a good touch. Well put together level. I bet it's about to end. This is the end right here. Yes. That's a well put together level, Droop Man. Thank you for it. Let's go ahead and see the next one. And again, queue is not closed. You want to get in more levels? Be my guest. Absolutely. I'm down for it. All right, I'm hitting complete. Complete. All right. And let's go with next as the command I will use next to get the next level. Me, Super Mario Maker 2. You are up next, and like I said, I'm going to give you these extra bonus heads. Specifically, you get Wario. And that'll be it. I'm tempted to go fix the bonus heads right now. Tell you what, 1 second. Let me do that. Hey, me, Super Mario Maker 2, please go ahead and confirm that you're here, and I'll play your level. You know the drill. Let me at me, Super Mario Maker 2. You are up. Beautiful. Okay, let me fix that that bonus head. Let me do that real quick like. Like I said, I just added a new bonus head for like. Let me copy show transition and paste show transition and copy the hide transition and paste the hide transition. That should do it. I guess I should test. Oh, that's not quite right. What the fuck was that? Oh, that looks really wrong. What the fuck? Where the fuck did it get that idea from? Also, like, it just slid down. Wait a minute. Some of these are sliding down, not... Oh, they must have, like, a lot of extra space below them as far as, like, pixels go. They're not, like... Like, these higher heads must have, like, are just, like, very, like, cut very directly, but... Meanwhile, these ones are actually quite big. So, yeah, that when they slide down... Oh... That's kind of awkward. Fuck. I should put, like, some sort of... What can I do about that? Fuck me. That looks really wrong. Ooh, look at that. We're just like popping. That looks bad. Ooh, I don't like that. Yeah. Whatever. Whatever. Fucking... God damn it. Always a compromise, I guess. I guess... I have, like, previously have big heads for, like... I have big heads for Marge. But I guess she's a different story because she had to be big to make her go up. Rather than, in this case... I actually add space below the bonus heads so that Dixie Kong could have hair that goes down. Maybe what I should do is I should rotate that so that the hair goes more to the side than the thing. That's why Bowser's head is so funky, because that extra space below comes from all this also having Dixie's head. Yeah, that does look weird. I'll rotate the Dixie head, and we'll adjust that more later. Okay, fuck. More adjustments necessary for this. But BSMM2 doesn't appear to be here, so let's just go ahead and do it sudden death style. And I'll Wario head will be for the next person who is here. 2, 4, 8. See, I should always test this shit like fully before when I'm actually setting this shit up in the first place. But you know, sometimes it just doesn't occur to me, and you know, I guess what are you gonna do? Shell jump automatic. Well, okay, we'll probably get through this on the first go. Let's watch. Let's watch. Also, the Dixie Kong head does sort of intersect with the lightning round iconography. That worked. Good level, very flashy. And yeah, you got all 170 coins. I don't think there's any way to speed that up. You would die. But someone somehow saved 30.3032 milliseconds. Okay. Thank you for the level. Let's go ahead and get this down. Go back to regular lightning round. And I'm going to hit complete and next. Next up is Lord Bowser. Go ahead and confirm, Bowser. Go ahead and punch your level in. 6G Y 9 98 Sneezed. Q7G. Is that all right? Yep, looks good to me. GG, time for world. All right, I'm gonna go back to the couch, and we'll be going into 1-2. An extra light's been on the whole time. The light that's behind my couch. Usually I have that turned off, but you know, whatever. No big deal. Alright, Lord Bowser's level. Let's go, let's do it. What the fuck? Oh, are you used auto-scroll tricks to make it so that you couldn't see the entrance? That was kind of neat. That's what was happening, right? That's neat. I like that. That's cool. Checkpoint. Oh, also, shit. Give you some. Like I said, I'm gonna give bonus heads to show Wario. Show this nice new Wario head in action. Easy come, easy go. Nice simple stage based around throwing these turtle shells. And, you know, using those to their full advantage. Feel like you know, throwing Koopa shells, easy way to make a level harder. Or, not make a level harder, make a level easier. Because, you know, no matter how many enemies you are, if they all die if you throw one Koopa shell, it's gonna be a lot easier than perhaps you would, you know, necessarily think, looking at the enemies ahead of you. Nice level. I liked it. Literally. I'm gonna go complete. And let's go ahead and see next level. Alright, let's get rid of these heads. That's the bonus heads. Available for subs, for subscribers. And of course, they are typically randomized. Droopman is here, already confirmed. Let me do another card while I'm putting in a thing. Did you hear about Metaverse legs? There was a press release thing saying that Facebook's the Metaverse. They now have legs. And it's true, their avatars, they now have legs. And there was a whole, like, I think like a press conference of them like kicking and like using their legs and stuff. And well, it got out after that was that apparently that was all canned. Like, that's not actually how it looks. They actually used like professional motion capture to make the legs look good for their public demonstration, their demo, which is kind of shitty as far as like, that's not actually how it looks then. You cheated. But also like, man, Metaverse, that, I'll say, the Metaverse has legs, but the Metaverse doesn't have legs, if you know what I mean. I was waiting to say that joke since I put in that card, or like a version of it, you know. I don't think it's long for this world. I saw another story, I didn't put a card in for it, saying that like, oh, a metaverse startup that has like billions of dollars with like real estate acquisition, that like millions of dollars of real estate has been put into. It turns out it has like an average of like 30 users. 30 regular users, which I thought was very funny. Just like, oh shit, this real estate. What the fuck? Oh shit! I thought it was very funny realizing like, oh yeah, this real estate metaverse, like, real estate bubble. Okay, we gotta be faster on our feet and sharper on our mind here to get through. I thought it was funny seeing like people realize or like just realizing like, oh shit, these fucking idiots. I don't want to say idiots. These fools who have been investing in crypto and like metaverse real estate are coming to realize like, oh, an average of like 30 people use that. Use that metaverse, right? Use that application. Like, you should not be spending billions of dollars to acquire like a virtual house in there. It just doesn't make sense. It's worth nothing. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry, but you know what I mean. What? Oh shit. Metaverse stuff, not gonna be anything. What? Is there gonna be like something through here? Okay. Not sure how you would go through that bonus area. But it looks like if you do, you get a P block, which probably lets you get the one up. That was a well put together level. Thank you very much.
Oh yeah, Mario time.
Let's go ahead and refresh our lives and see the next level. GG indeed. I'm gonna hit complete. Why don't I show you? Why don't I do? I know that I think Droopman is up next, or wait, Bowser's up next. Other way. Let me put in Bowser's up next. But before I play Bowser's stage, I'm gonna play one of my own real quick. I'm not sure which one I should play, but let me show y'all, if you don't know, the kinds of levels I make. I'm gonna do the minimal cue for this, because I'm playing my own shit. Which one should I play? These levels here, up from Grand Gully 2 up, are part of my super world. Mario Country. Part of my super world, wrong command. Are part of my super world. Mario Country, Waluigi's Triple Threat, due out next year. I've completed 32 out of 40 levels. And yeah, it's a whole thing. Looking forward to getting it completed. But I think today, let's play an older level. I've showed off before Temple Temptation, which is sort of the level where part of the theming for Marble Top Meteor came from. It also sort of had like these blocks at the top. Sort of using them as like the top pieces of the thing. But it sort of more used that because I didn't want people to get up top. You know, in this level, there's no way to actually break that shit. And also, odds are you're not actually getting that high because there's actually no abilities that let you get up that high in the first place. It's just merely to make sure that absolutely sure there's no way to get up there. Meanwhile, let's see, what's a good one? Overcast Blast is pretty good. I could show off Power Out Bouts. Blustery Backwoods is good. Bonus stage, Board the Blocks. Well, let's. This is kind of a basic one, but what about just Anchor Drop Armada? Let's do Anchor Drop Armada. You know what we'll do two. We'll do Anchor Drop Armada and the one right after this, which was the first of the 22nd levels I ever did. For this level, you're sort of you know, going through this airship fleet, and they have dropped anchor by mistake, so you can see that all these anchors are dropped. They are, you know, tilty platforms, so if you step on them, they'll tilt. And you just have to deal with that. Ooh, let's get that 10. Alright. And the subworld in this is night. It is night airship, which means that it's you know, it's now and subworld / second half. It's now that everything is low gravity and the fish now fly. And also there's a storm ruin. Also I made it so that these guys, they still jump around, but I use rails to represent it. Look at this, secret under a secret. You can, of course, like, immediately, like, collect it, and then just, like, go, like, ooh, you know, pop right back up. But, if you have faith, you'll find a secret area below that. Last spurt here. That's good. That's a good level. Very, very nice.
Oh yeah.
The other one I'll show off. I'll show off one more before getting to Lord Bowser's stage. I'll show off one more. This is the first of the... In my Super World, I have a lot of my worlds ending with 20-second stages. And this one here, bonus stage Board the Blocks, is the first one I ever tried in that fashion. And basically, the success of this stage caused things such as like Dry Dust Up, Mecha Maelstrom, To and Fro Factory. Can I name them all? The Sunshine Scramble and Stygian Swim. And if you're fast, you can do this in 20 seconds. Whoops. All you need to do is step on these blocks, and they'll kill the guys, and that's good enough. Also sort of inspired by Smash Brothers, you know, board the blocks, load the platforms. Same basic idea. Alright, it's Bowser time. Let's go ahead and get into Bowser's level. Back to the larger UI. 6GY 9T8. You know, I swear I've seen 9T8 a lot. Well, I guess, you know what, it's just like a pattern, I guess. Like, 3DB is in mine. 8DF. You know what, I have 8DF. Kind of sounds like ADF. Like 80. Like 80. And, 9T8. Kind of sounds like 98. Funny how that happens. Wonder if there's like a pattern to that. One more card. Shout out to Fat Boy Premium Ice Cream. You ever have that? You ever have Fat Boy? It's a really good brand of ice cream sandwich. They make damn good ice cream sandwiches, I tell you. I got a couple of them. I got a whole thing of them in my freezer. God damn, that's a good ice cream sandwich. Fat Boy, if you ever see them at like Target, pick them up. They're good. I think they're better than Klondike as far as like ice cream sandwiches to go, or like the Market Pantry brand. Hello, Maniator. How you doing? Let's see this level. Hey, Droop Man. You gotta get one in. The last one had been completed 7 days ago, and it wasn't accepted. Oop. I like how you have to get you have to challenge the Hammer Bro to get the Yoshi. That's a nice touch. I appreciate the bravery in here of just using Hammer Bros, you know, this early in a Super World. I used some Hammer Bros in World 3, and you know, even though I'm making sure that the player will have sufficient... Oh shit! You gotta have Yoshi. Even though I'm making sure that the player has sufficient, like, means to deal with it, I still sometimes worry, you know, whether it'll be good, whether people will be okay and will manage. We got this. Can we get it? Well, we could if we gave up Yoshi.
Oh yeah.
Thank you, Lord Bowser. That was a nice level. Complete. Oh wait, it's a maker code. It doesn't. We don't need to do that. We can just do next. Droop Man. Droop Man's here. Let's go. Keep things rolling. Refresh those lives. Pull up another card. I made some bad spaghetti yesterday, before the stream, before my game review backlogged stream. I made some really bad spaghetti. At the Target they didn't have. Oh, look at that. 14498. 2 more likes and that's almost a. It's kind of a round number. 14500. I like round numbers. Anyway, they didn't have angel hair, so I figured like, oh fuck, I think I will. I'll take a chance. I'll try something weird. And I saw some spaghetti that was like, oh, it's like spaghetti, but it's made out of like red lentils. Great source of protein. I saw some other one that was like, oh, it's made of like chickpeas. It's a great source of fiber. I was like, okay, well, whatever. I'll try those. And I tried them. I cooked them up, and goddamn, they were firm. They were like really firm, and they were also really just not good tasting. I was quite disappointed. I threw out most of what I made. I gotta still throw out the rest of it. Okay, here we go. Frosty Piranhas. I haven't beaten this one yet. I guess I fucked up last time. Let's play extra good attention here and not die. And not think about bad spaghetti. Anyway. Quite disappointing, you know, you buy all the ingredients and shit, and you put in the time to make some spaghetti, and it turns out like shit. You're just like, god damn it. What am I supposed to do about that? I don't know. Live with it, I suppose. You can only get one thing, can you? Huh. I guess that's hitting the object limit, so that's how you have that set up. That's clever. Neat little mechanism to make you choose one thing. I am eating it a lot. What's up, Droop Man? You just realized that already started World 4. I don't think I'm not sure if I finished this one yet. It looked like the flag was, wasn't set to finished. So I'm gonna, I'm going through it. That's not so hard. We got through clean.
Oh yeah.
I'm not sure. Maybe you can check the VOD and, like, see if did I complete it before this? Or is this the first time I'm actually doing it? Oh, that was longer than a minute, wasn't it? So yeah, I guess I have. I guess. No, I thought the flag was like unfilled in. I think the flag was unfilled in before. So I think I must have, must have been the lightning round. I must have died 4 times. Not sure. Anyway, thank you. Let's go ahead and get the next one up. Hit complete. Hit complete. And then hit next. There might also be cases where, like, if you're submitting a maker code where you're submitting a level that I have cleared, but it was cleared by the maker code, so, it wasn't necessarily, like, flagged by the thing. Just has no idea that I've done it. Lord Bowser, you are up. You are here. Did you hear about the Twitch payout threshold lowered? Pretty good. It's now just at $50. And apparently the email said I'm pretty close to that. That payout. Getting a second payout, after a few more subs and bits and cheers and shit, I guess. Won't that be nice? I like it when Twitch gives me money. I mean, I should say, let me clarify, let me back up. I like it when the folks give me money, and then Twitch deigns to share it with me. Share the money that the folks give me with myself. I like it when I actually get the money. Who doesn't? Who doesn't like when they get some money? I guess if you're worried about taxes. Not really worried about taxes. Sunset Popples. Let's go. Let's do it. 5 tries. Let's go. Doctor. I like the theming here. Yeah, I've seen a bunch of your sunset levels before, Bowser, but I always like them. It's a good use of the sky theme of from you know, Mario, what the fuck? From the new U theme. It's good. I think that theme is the hardest to use theme in the game. This theme is just like, it's hard to figure out like what you're supposed to use like the semi-solids for. It's hard to know what you're supposed to use like the, you know, the platforms aren't really like cloud platforms, despite it being a sky theme. So like, it's not really apparent what the intended use should be. You know what that makes me want to do? It makes me want to show off some of my own levels that use this theme in. Ooh, okay. We can't jump that far. All right. Fuck, okay, whatever. Thank you. We got through. The sunset is now given way to a clear sky. You could have had the semi-solids behind the thing. You could have totally kept up the theme, but, you know, hey, whatever. Nice level, nice level. Gonna go ahead and hit complete on that. I want to do one more of my own levels. Actually, I want to show you 2. Pull up the minimize bar because I have used that theme twice. I've used that theme twice before. Let me show you one of my earliest levels that I've ever done, which was the first in this game of the new U, the first new U level that I made in this game, Harvest Heaven, which uses those semi-solids that you made use of yourself. And I'll show you one more, which is also uses the same theme, but in a different way. In this case, I've used the semi-solids to make like various fruits, and I have them sort of hanging down off the top of the level. And yeah, there's also some stuff like here. Get this Yoshi, and also you can just go on down and get this. This is also, by the way, the first time I ever used the swinging claws, since it was my 3rd level in this game. Back, Yoshi. This game, using the swing claws to get across gaps. You know, sort of like classic levels like the Ropey Rampage, DKC2. A lot of levels like that, I suppose, in the DKCs. This one here. Now I have the Fire Yoshi. You can use it to take out some guys. With these, I made some nice patterns of the guys. And you can see that you have to sort of get through them. Or you can just, you know, shoot with your guy. Shoot them with your Yoshi, and that'll also clear them out. This is some real good theming. Love that shit. Turned out really well. And like, yeah, one of the first levels I ever did in this game. Like, soon after release. I'll show one more, which is also uses the same theme, but was part of my Super World. That is Coastal Cup 4, Igneous 500. This one, I used the same theming, but I used it to sort of represent like an active volcano. You see there, I've sort of made the hills into little volcano hills. volcano holes. Little volcano holes. And slopes are sort of a emphasis because, you know, it is like volcano side of a volcano. And then you go inside the volcano and do some stuff. And enemies emerging from pipes is a sort of a theme. Whoops. Hey, Aaron Bats, 8078. How you doing? This level turned out really well. I'd say that about any of my levels. There's some ones that turned out really fucking great. The little survival section here where you have to survive. How you doing, Aaron? Fuck! It looked away. I'll take that. Bah! Okay, you know what? We just gotta be good. Alright, we're good, we're good. And by the way, when I'm playing my own levels, I'll definitely, like, you know, still do the lightning round stuff if we were to die, but I'm good at this shit. I played this level a million times in testing. I like that mushroom because it gives time for the Goombas to start appearing, to start spawning. So if you end up going for it, it actually makes it a little more harrowing than if you just barreled on before that actually started. You know, if you just started forward, the Goombas would be no threat at all because they'd be behind you by the time they appeared. But if you do stop, it ends up being a tiny bit of a threat. I think that's neat. It's a good level. Lots of good levels. I kind of want to show us Snorkel Speedway. Maybe later. Maybe later. That's a fucking good one, too. Again, I recommend all y'all check out my maker code. I've got, you know, 32 levels in my super world, plus 30 outside of it, so 62 total. And they're all quite good. Y'all should check them out and play them. I like all the likes and stuff I get on them. And, yeah. Let's see, we haven't hit next yet, so let's do that. It is 8 o'clock. You know, it's, I suppose, just about time to start wrapping up. So, let's see. Should we close the queue now, or after, like, a level or two? Let's close the queue after this level from Droopman. Let's finish the level after this Droopman level. Thank you, Aaron, for the level. I appreciate it. We'll be getting to it soon. So, Droopman, if you got one more after this, be prepared to get into the queue, because after this level, I'm going to vamp for a bit, and then I'm going to close the queue. You know, I'm going to give everyone the last call on level submissions. Ooh, this looks fun. I'm going to do a last call on level submissions, and that'll be the thing. Have that ready. 5 tries on the board, let's go. It's the lightning round. Refreshing at checkpoints and subs if anyone were to become a sub, or if anyone is a sub currently. You get an extra 2 heads. And they're randomly determined heads. They can be one of many things, so they are quite cool. Including, new today, we have Waluigi heads and also Wario heads. Nice stuff with having to avoid the thing. This really reminds me of, like, this is giving me some big vibes of, like, Donkey Kong Country, Millstone Mayhem. Millstone Mayhem. That's what it's reminding me of. Nice. That's good. That's a really well put together level. Was able to get through it in one go. Had a great time. Very Millstone Mayhem. I don't know if you're a big DKC fan, if that's something you thought about while making this level, or if that's just a total quinkadink. But yeah, that's sort of what I think about when I play that level. Sort of has some familiar moments, some moments that are very much like that. Like that part where you went down to a thing and there were some springs and you sort of had to spring down. You had to go down and then up. Let me do it the way that you can see on your screen. Down and then up like that, going from your left to right, like bowing. That part reminds me very much of Millstone Mayhem. Thank you, thank you. Let's see the next level. Oh, also, it's time, folks. It's time for me to do my last vamping. Last call. You want to get your level in? Get it in now. I'm going to talk about the last thing. One of these cards, which is, had a close call with my phone the other day. You ever have this where, like, you know, you're holding your phone and then you, like, stumble or something, and you just, like, feel really glad that you didn't drop it? I was in the parking garage of my apartment. My apartment has a parking garage. And, there was like some sort of like bottle of something on the ground, like a bottle of like perfume or shampoo or something, and I stepped on it and it was like really put aback for a second. And I'm just really glad that I had like a steely fucking grip on my phone, or would have went flying off. I remember when I was in Japan, a similar thing sort of happened where I was like putting my phone through like a fence, like through a fence over a river to get like a really good low angle shot of like the lights reflecting in the river, and like it was like in Osaka, in like Sotenbori, I think it's called Sotenbori, which is, by the way, the coolest place I've ever been. And while I was doing that, trying to get that low angle shot, some speakers turned on, like an idol started going like, "Okay, everyone," in Japanese. "Okay, everyone, hey, how's it going? We're here." And I just really felt in the moment like, I am so glad I have a steely constitution. I did not react at all to that. Loud noises starting to start blaring behind me. I'm so glad I just calmly pulled my phone out and didn't drop it into the water in Japan. That would be a bad place to lose a phone. Into the water. In the water of a lake that, yeah, you're not getting that back if you drop it into the river. I said lake, river, you know what I mean. Like, it's a deep body of water. You can't get in there. No. I know, that's a foolish thing to do, but if it's any consolation, I'm sure I got a pretty good photograph. Alright, let's call it. Thank y'all for getting those levels in there. I'm going to hit, next. I'm going to now close the queue. Thank you for getting those in there. Close queue. The queue is now closed. Let me change the UI to reflect that. There we go. Lord Bowser's up. Lord Bowser, you're here, right? You were here a minute ago, so I assume you're good to go. Go ahead and confirm. You know how it is. You know how it works. We'll be getting through these last couple of levels, and then I will be heading off to a night of doing other things off stream. Perhaps watching some of another streamer. We'll see. I mean, I will be doing that. Bowser, if you could please confirm. I'll do another card. I think I have a couple more. Started rewatching Sound Euphonium. Really good anime about like a brass band. Very cute and a little bit gay, though sometimes it's sort of like, it kind of like backs away from that and like doesn't do that thing, but it's cute and good, and the characters are really great, and you like to hear it. You like to hear the music. I actually have, like, on my iPhone, I have like the soundtrack of like the performances that they did in that anime. And when I went to Japan on like the 13-hour flight, I remember trying to like sleep a little bit, right? Or take like a nap. And what I did is I was just like putting as much in the way of like headphones as I can to isolate out the world, and like blaring that music into my ears in order to like have something orchestral and simple and pleasant to listen to as I like drifted, as I like tried to just like not think about anything and have a nice semi-nap on the way to Japan. Hey, Lord Bowser, that's good. It's good that you're here. Let's go. I think about it a lot. I actually did that on both the way to Japan and the way back to Japan. Really good show. You were helping your mom with groceries. Gotcha. You gotta do that, yeah. Anyway, Sound Euphonium, really good. I did watch it because I was unsure like what to watch last night after the stream, and I decided to watch a Sound Euphonium. You know, sort of open up a new show. Open up a new show that I'm rewatching now. It's funny though, as like a show. I kind of like a lighthearted show to end the night on, like a slice of life thing, because it's kind of hard to justify when you're watching one of those to be like, yeah, I'll watch more than one, you know? Usually when you watch a show like that, you're like, one and done, and then you can go to sleep. But I will say, after I watched one episode of Sound Euphonium, I was just like, immediately like, yeah, I gotta watch the second episode. It's fucking good. Sound Euphonium was one of the first shows I watched when I got into anime, watching it seasonally. I believe season 2 was on at the time when I got into anime in like 2016. Yuri on Ice, Girlish Number. Yuri on Ice, Girlish Number, and Sound Euphonium. Those were the first 3 animes that I really got into on Crunchyroll. Very, very fond of all 3 to this day. And yeah, having a great time rewatching it now. Looks like a clue that we're about to hit the end. Ooh. I like the train, the end of the train. That was well done, theming wise. Boss fight. That was the 1 hit, so here's hit 2. I like what you've done here as far as like having the bullet bills peppering the stage with bullets as you're fighting. That's a really good use of the bullet bills. Feels very classical, you know. There's, you know, definitely there's a ton of levels in the original Super Mario World where like a hail of bullets are giving you trouble. That's what that reminds me of. Great shit, Lord Bowser. Let's see the next one. Put it in complete. Now putting in next. I like that. I like that stage a lot. And look at this. We're going to the next world, which I will guess desert. Desert world. There you go. Called it. You know what? I played a lot of the Super World, the original versions of it, before. I probably might have remembered a thing or two about that shit. Aaron, go ahead and confirm now. While you're confirming and while I'm typing this in, I'll pull up the last thing. The last card that I have of planned things to talk about. I sort of prepare these cards ahead of time, by the way, in case it wasn't clear. I prepare these with things I want to talk about to fill the silence, you know? And so I don't forget things I wanted to touch on. This seemed like an interesting story to me. Apparently they've added Sizer to Pokemon Unite. Cool Pokemon, and I actually read a thing or two about him, about Scyther, and apparently the way that it works is that depending on which move you pick, DMF, depending on what move you pick, either it stays a Scizor or it becomes a Scizor. And Scizor has more attack, and Scizor has more defense. You know, the green one has Scyther has more attack, and Scizor has more defense. So you can sort of, you know, spec yourself in whichever direction makes sense for the game, and I think that's pretty neat. You know, Pokemon Unite so far has had no Pokemon where you had to decide which Pokemon you were becoming. That's very neat to me. I think they should do more of that. It kind of reminds me of Varian from Heroes of the Storm. Sort of the same idea where you can sort of become more tanky or more Aggro E. I think that's a great design. Aaron, please confirm. Let me at Aaron real fast. I'm surprised that they didn't do anything similar for that for like the Eevees. Instead, the Eevees are just like one form of Eevee. Yes, that's right. We've completed the Koopa Plains. Your first world of that one. What is the second world called? Dry Ruins. Like the Paper Mario area. Nice. I'm surprised they didn't do that with the Eevees, but I guess they totally could in the future, right? There could be a third Eevee Lucian character that could be like a either or choice. But maybe that would be a bit weird. Gotta go. See you later, Lord Bowser. Good to have you. What other Pokemon would it work with? We'll think about that as we go into this. I don't see Aaron here, so we're gonna do this sudden death style. That's how this works. For those who don't know, we do it sudden death if you are not here to play the level, which means 2 tries instead of 5. Or if we're not in the lightning round, it would mean 2 tries instead of... That was pretty easy. 2 tries instead of 15 minutes. Thank you for the level. I'm afraid I can't help you. I'm afraid I can't help you. Thank you. Let's see the last level of the night from Droopman. I almost put exclamation Droopman. That's not the command. It's next. Oh, I should have put complete so I could clear that one. Whatever. It's fine. Thank you, Aaron. And let me put up the things. Hey, Droopman. FF PVG. What if also the last level of the night also had bonus heads? Let's try that out, see how it feels. Whoops. Okay, we got Yoshi heads. Let's try this out. We'll try giving the last person of the night extra heads, bonus heads, and see if we like that. I do want to see more heads. I want to see more of these bonus heads. But also, you know, I do want it to still be a special thing for subscribers. So maybe like the first and last of the lightning round should have some extra heads. Maybe that'd be the correct formulation. I've also done on occasion streams where everyone gets bonus heads. But, you know, I do want that to be a sometimes treat, not an always thing. Yoshi! Hey. I like your use of the guys here. The Pokies work really well. Interesting have that. Did I fire that off after getting dismounted by the Yoshi? From the Yoshi? Weird. That's good. That's a good last bit. Nice and simple little level with a lot of really nice bits. Thank you. Alright. Folks, thanks for coming by and giving me your levels. I liked them. Now, I'm going to send you off, and let me say, obviously, let me put up the schedule. I will be back on Monday with Grab by the Ghoulies and viewer levels. By the way, I'm thinking for Monday, I'm thinking of starting with Ghoulies and maybe going to viewer levels maybe around 9:30. We'll see. I've been thinking maybe switching things up there, seeing how that feels. I always like to mix things up. I'm going to write myself a note to do that, so I don't forget. I don't have any plans for next week's Thursday, but we'll see what happens. That'll be next week. And yeah, Mario Maker, obviously, Mondays, Fridays. And yeah, I'll see you then, Droopman. Let me see who's online. Let me see who I can send you to. We do have 5 people here, so you know what? I would like to send y'all over to Dan Reichert. He's one of my favorite streamers of all time, and I'm gonna spend tonight watching him do a Battle Dome blowout, and if I'll say there is a risk if we don't have enough people in the raid that it might not appear, but we have 5 folks here. I think that's good enough to qualify. So let's do a Dan Reichert raid, and hopefully we'll see an alert go off. And if it doesn't, well, that's the risk we take. That's the risk we take with doing a raid on a big established streamer. I'm pulling it up on my end as well, so I'll see it. Folks, thank you for coming by, giving me your levels. I had a great time. We had some really good levels, made some good progress in some viewers' super worlds. I will see you again on Monday, 8 p.m. I'm gonna start with Grab by the Ghoulies that night, but viewer levels will follow that. Thank you. I'll see you then. Good night, folks.